Hey YouTube, 6200 here, back again with another video. Continuing the Married Man Advice 101 or Married Man 101 Advice series. I thought we'd touch on something fairly popular in the YouTube streets and just around the broader internet, which is going into the different types of men, in particular the two that seem to be the most, I don't know, popular or attractive to women, which is the alpha versus the sigma. I'm going to keep it real simple. The alpha male is exactly who you think the alpha male is, right? What it sounds like. Um, the alpha is your typical, domineering type of man. Doesn't necessarily have to be loud and aggressive about it. But normally, the guy that either is in charge or who has the traits to be in charge, right? Some very public facing figures or examples would be like your CEOs, which, by the way, they're not always alpha, even though they're in the role. But oftentimes they display the characteristics, the behaviors of an alpha male. But effectively, the kind of man that wants to lead, that wants to be responsible, that wants to be in charge, not for the sake of giving out orders, but because he's vied for this position, this role. He thinks that he's the most qualified, and he's the most capable. And enough of the populace around him agrees with that. They agree with that assessment. So it's really effectively like an elected position, okay? Because it takes both this man as well as those around him to agree that he should be the one in charge. That's what makes him the alpha. The sigma, by comparison and contrast, is different. Not as different as you think, but different in the sense that while the sigma possesses much of the same traits of the alpha, if not pretty much all of them, the sigma differs because the sigma doesn't require what the alpha requires. So, I'll give you a good example. While the alpha will go to bat, will put his neck on the line for his family, his community, his organization, right, his tribe. In return, what the alpha wants is a level of respect or some kind of strap of recognition and admiration. It keeps him going, right? The more respect he gets, the more admiration he gets, the more he wants to do for his tribe or his community, his family. It's this play, this dynamic that keeps the alpha producing, whether it's through provisions or protections. It's what keeps them going. That's what puts the battery in the alpha's back. Okay, he'll sacrifice as long as you recognize his sacrifice. The sigma doesn't need any of that. When the sigma decides that he's going to sacrifice, he's going to provide, and he's going to protect, he actually does not require the same respect, if any at all. He doesn't want any recognition. He wants absolutely none of that. Now, while that might seem like a fantastic deal, especially for the people in the tribe, the local populace, hey, we get all this protection, all this provision, and we don't even have to remember this guy's name. The trade off here, because you have to remember, right, and this is an important lesson for everyone, not just men. Life is all about trade offs. There really are no free lunches. So while the sigma might come bearing gifts through provisions and protection, the populace has no claim to the sigma. The sigma will not commit to doing any of these things. The sigma is not a part of your society, really. The sigma is not a voter. The sigma doesn't believe in this system. The sigma does what the sigma believes is right, but the sigma is not a part of the system itself. He's outside the system. That is the difference between the alpha and the sigma. A good image or character or two characters really that I can use to really kind of drive home this point would be Superman and Batman. I think you can take a guess who's the Alpha and who's the Sigma. Superman does all these saves and does all these amazing things, but you know what he also wants? He wants respect and he wants admiration. He wants his name known and remembered. He will sit down for a press interview, right? This is all built into the Superman image, right? His character, his moniker. With Batman, not so much, right? It's a contrast to the bright colors that Superman wears to attract attention. Batman, dark colors. Batman doesn't go by the justice system. He is a vigilante and he does not work with the police. He does what he thinks is correct. No one can call on Batman unless Batman allows them to call on him. He doesn't answer to anybody. That's the difference. One needs the respect and admiration of the populace and the other does not. Now, how does that relate to what is going on in today's society? Very simple. Most men want family. We all want family. We all want to be a husband to a loving wife. We all want children. The pitter patter of children running around, siblings arguing here and there, and all the good stuff that comes with being a part of a family. We all want that. But with the way that we are trending, with the lack of vision, lack of training, lack of raising families, starting with the women, being that we don't make wives in the Western world anymore, and as such, the men don't want the women because the women are out of order. So we're now divided, and with the way that this is set up and the way in which we are headed, all that means is that more men are striving less to be alphas and more men are choosing to be sigmas, meaning men are deciding to help when we see fit, not when we are told, right? We're not going by the expectation of women or the expectation of anyone, really. A society made up of a bunch of sigmas cannot sustain itself. The sigma male is supposed to be fairly rare, not common. You need more alphas in a society, not sigmas. So that's the difference. I want to keep this one real short. And quite frankly, it's becoming quite alarming. Remember this message. A society made up of more sigmas than alphas cannot sustain itself. You need men to have a commitment to their family, community, their nation. If you turn men away from that, there are going to be consequences, unfortunately. So that's my message. It's not really one kind of being broadcast to the younger men, which I normally do. It's for anyone that is hearing it. This is how we're trending. So all those little popular terms of alpha and sigma, that stuff is cool. I get it, but this is where we're going. So 6200.